Cutie, I'm Brittany with Stitches of Love Quilting, and this is the machine embroidery tutorial for your November applique club box. And what I'm going to do in this video is make my Frosty, but instead of making him a mug rug, I'm going to put him on a zipper bag. So it's going to be oriented like this, where my little Frosty design is in my zipper bag with my zipper pull going this way. So let's talk about all the items that you need to get ready. Of course, you'll have your zipper. You'll have your fabrics that you need, so you have the inside and outside, and you have your battings. Then I like to have a steady Betty in front of my workspace, which is in front of my embroidery machine. I like to have a cutting mat with my rotary. Handy dandy little tool for when I turn my bag right side out. I have my needle on my machine is an embroidery needle by Oregon Needles. I'm using a size 75 to 90. The threads that I have, I'll go through the colors. They're all sulky 40 weight rayon threads. I love working with them. My machine loves them. They make me happy. So I have a red 1147. I have a black 1005. Then I have this beautiful aqua color 1045. The green that I use all the time 1177. This orange, which is just such a pretty orange, 1168. A beautiful pink, 1307, and last but not least, of course, a white for my little snowman, 1001. So these are the threads that I need. Look how beautiful those colors are this month. I just love it. We do have kits available with these colors in it. If you want to check it out, it's under threads, thread kits under Notions on our website. And if you're a member of the club, you get 10% off your Notions every day. And then I have, of course, I need to have this, all my pre-fused laser cut applique pieces. I've just tossed them in a bowl so I don't lose any of them. And I've gone on and peeled the backing, the Heat and Bond Light backing off of them. I always like to have my favorite pair of little trimmers for when I need to trim a thread from holding it or something like that. And I have my Steam Fast Travel Iron, which is great for ironing my pieces in the hoop, the applique pieces on. So what we're gonna do now is load the file for the back of our zipper bag. And what we're gonna do is make the back, and we're gonna add a little snowflake embellishment on it. So prompt that to get started, and then I'll show you how we do the first step. So the machine stitches a nice square, but before I put my fabric on it, I wanna press it so that the folds from shipping in the box are out. And again, I just pressed on my Steady Betty right in front of my embroidery machine. I love it. And we do carry the Steady Betties on our website. I love working with them. I use them in all the tutorials. And they're just such nice people at the Steady Betty company. Okay, so with my hoop, and I think I forgot to mention, my hoop is 8 inches squared. You can use anything that accommodates at least 8 inches squared. So if you have a larger hoop, that's fine. And I have a medium tearaway stabilizer hooped in it. So what I'm gonna do is immediately turn my hoop over so that the back is exposed. And what I'm gonna do is put the fabric that is for the lining, the inside of my bag. So let me show you in the bag. What we're making right now is this inside back piece and then the outside back piece. So this is the fabric for the lining. And I just take my handed end tape. This is just like 3M medical tape. It's called transport tape. You can pick it up on Amazon. I'm just gonna tape it on the back. Boop. There we go. I love this stuff. Just let me see if I can show you what it looks like inside. See, 3M transport. You can Google it and get it on Amazon. Or just Amazon it, not Google it on Amazon. Silly. Okay, so now I'm gonna take my fusible banding, make sure it doesn't have any threads, and I'm gonna put it where the fusible side is up. You can identify that side because it's a little like textured, whereas the side without the fusible is flat like regular batting. So I'm just gonna put that where I'm covering the square. And again, the size fabrics that we tell you to cut and the fabrics that we include in the kit are more than enough. I like to work with a little extra so that I don't mess up. Okay, and then I'm putting, this is the fabric for the outside back of the bag, and I am going to simply press my fabric to the batting. There you go. See how nice this little iron works in the hoop? I love it. If you don't have one, grab one. We do carry these as well. We have some in stock. And then I'm just gonna give it a little piece of tape at the top and bottom to hold it in place. Now the thread that I have loaded on my machine, you could see, is red. And so what the machine is gonna do now is put this in place, and then it's going to do all of the straight line quilting, and it's also going to give us a placement guide for the cute little snowflake that's going to go down here. Okay, so let's get started. And just like that, the back of your bag is quilted. It looks fantastic. I do use a white bobbin, so the inside lining is stitched with white, which is fine. It's the inside of the bag. If you want to make a matching bobbin, you certainly can. I don't take the time to do that. So now what you can see right here, I'm going to turn this sideways actually so I can make sure I'm in the center of the shot for you. You can see that I have a little, basically it looks like a star right now, but it's an outline of where I need to put my snowflake. So what I do is just put that on and make sure that I'm covering those lines. See? Easy peasy. And we'll just give that a good press for just a second. And our snowflake is on. Oh, you can see the outline of my iron. It'll cool off in a second. So now I'm going to change my thread to the green, which is 1177. And the machine is going to do that same stitch it did, but it's going to stitch on top of the snowflake to secure it in place. And just like that, my little snowflake is in place. So what I'm going to do is unhoop, and we're going to set this aside because the back is done. And we will rehoop. And it's easy just to pop your new stabilizer into your hoop, just like so. There we go. Tighten it up, and now we're going to switch to the file for the front of our zipper bag. We're going to prompt to the first step, and it's going to give us 2 straight lines and an outline of our bag. So that first step for the front of your zipper bag, this is what's going to be in your hoop. So let's talk about putting our zipper in and the orientation we want that zipper to pull. So let me just give you a quick idea. So the design, the way I have it oriented in my machine, the snowman is going to be facing this way, right? And I'm just holding a mug rug right here so you can see the direction. So I want my zipper pull to pull from top to bottom. So I know that when I put my zipper here, I'm going to want my pull at the top. So just think about the direction you want that zipper. And so you just give yourself a little space at the top, you know, so you have an overhang at the top and the bottom, and you're just going to get your tape and you're going to just secure it in place for a second. You want to make sure you're pretty centered right here. There we go. And I want it to be straight. So just give it a little, there we go. Just make sure you're centered as much as possible. And I'm just going to put another little piece of tape in the middle. Okay, so again, still with the red thread, I'm going to put this back on. And we can use red thread even though it's a white zipper because this thread is never going to be seen. It's going to be inside of a seam essentially. So now you'll see that your zipper is secure. What we're going to do is gather the 2 pieces that are for the right side of our bag. So we have the 9x3s of the batting and our inside and outside. I'm just going to give this fabric a press because again, it does get a little wrinkled in shipping. There we go. And what we're going to do is take our hoop, we're going to flip it over so that the back side is exposed. And what we're going to do is put our fabric, so you can see I have it wrong side up, right side down. And I have my 2 zipper lines, right? I am going to go 1/4 inch past the first zipper line. And you have more than enough fabric. And I'm just going to give this a little tape on the corners. There we go. And I'm taping this into place on the back. Perfect. Now I'm going to flip my hoop over. And I'm going to do the same thing on the top, but first I'm going to pull the tape from my zipper bag. Pull that off. These little pieces always stick to me when I'm filming. They stick to me when I'm not filming too, because they're tape. And one more little piece down here. There we go. And so what I'm going to do is, again, my fabric is right side down, wrong side up. And I'm going to now go 1/4 inch to the right of my zipper. And what's going to happen, see, it's going to flip over. So I need to go 1/4 inch past that line. So see, I'm about 1/4 inch past, perfect. And I'm just going to tape this little guy in place right here. and then just once down here. Now we're gonna put this back on the machine, still with the red thread, and the machine is going to do one stitch, one straight line right here for us. So now your machine has done that straight seam for you. So again, we're gonna flip this back over. We're gonna carefully remove the tape, holding our little piece in place. There we go. And now we're gonna very gently finger press this up right here, and we're gonna tape this in place. You don't want to ever distort the contents of your frame, because if you do, the subsequent steps are gonna be not in alignment. They'll be out of alignment. So just give it 2 little pieces of tape to hold that. I'm gonna flip this back over, and we're gonna do that on the top, but first we're gonna put our fusible batting in place. So what you do is put this fusible side up, and the non-fusible side is facing down, because of course you don't wanna fuse it to your hoop or anything like that. And just get it right up at that stitched line and pull this over. Perfect. So see, one side of our zipper bag is gonna be in place, and I'm just gonna iron this. And if you don't have fusible batting, regular batting works just fine too. We just happen to like fusible batting. Okay, I'm just gonna give it a little piece of tape. There we go. Okay, let's put this back on with that red thread, and the machine is gonna do great stitching for us right here. It's gonna do all that straight line quilting for us. So now the right side of your bag is completely quilted. Look how great it looks. It's awesome. So now you need to grab the remaining pieces, and let me give these a quick press. Press. That's what we say in our family. Press, press. So just get the wrinkles out real fast. Don't iron on your fusible or anything right now. So just like we did for the right side of the bag, we're going to position the fabrics for the left side. So again, I'm going to turn my bag over. I'm going to take one piece of fabric from my lining. And so again, this is the left side of my bag, the right side of the bag, and this is my zipper line. I'm going to put my fabric face down, and I'm going to go 1/4 inch to the right of this line, because eventually this is going to flip over this way. Like to tell you so you kind of understand like what we're doing and why. Just make sure I have a good seam allowance, and I'm going to give this a little tape. Whoop. And you guys, I was just thinking about it. It's almost time for Christmas music. I know, like in the car on the XM, it's already out. They have the stations already playing. I purposely haven't listened yet. I'm not gonna listen to Christmas music until the day after Thanksgiving. So I like to have fall. I wanna make sure I don't miss a season. Especially here in Florida, we barely have seasons. So gotta take it for all you can. So now what we're gonna do on the front, and I've taped this around because I don't want it to, you know, flop around. So I'm gonna put my fabric face down, and we're gonna go 1/4 inch to the left of the zipper. And again, now we're on the front of our bag. And what this will do eventually is flip this way. So just make sure you have this in place. And we're gonna tape it. There we go. And we're gonna put this back on the machine with the red thread, and it's gonna do one stitch for us right here, and then we'll be back to put our batting in. Okay, so now this line is stitched. We're gonna put this down. We're gonna leave that back piece taped up for a while. So don't worry with it. And then we're gonna put this fusible side up. Make sure if there's any stray threads, you have them off. I basically am always covered in threads. When I leave work every day, I kind of sit in the car before I get out and go in public and check for threads. All right, and then I'm just gonna pull this over flat. Make sure your batting goes all the way up to that seam. And now we're just gonna iron this, press it together. There we go. And if you wanna put a little tape on this, you can. I'm not going to because it just sort of is staying nice and flat for me. So with the red thread, the machine is going to put this in place, and it's also going to give us our first applique placement lines. There's not going to be any quilting, like the straight line quilting on this side, because our snowman pretty much covers the entire thing, so we wouldn't see the quilting anyway. So now after that first step, you have 3 pieces outlined. I know it's probably a little hard to see that on the film. So what we're gonna do is start putting our pieces down. So the first piece we're gonna put down is our hat, the cute black pieces here. And you're gonna notice that yes, your pieces on this left side, for the ones that go over, are gonna go over a little bit, and that's no big deal. It's gonna get caught in the end when we finish our bag, so you don't have to worry about that. There we go. Now you're gonna notice something pretty cool. You have two pieces, right, for your face, and you have two pieces, these other pieces for the body of your snowman. If we put just one piece, that red is gonna show through. So what we're gonna do, we're actually gonna put two pieces. One is just plain white, it's muslin. So we're gonna put that down. The other piece is a white on white dot. So you wanna pay special attention to which piece you put down first. See those dots? So you put the plain white muslin down first. Then, see how you can see the red through it? Now when you put this second piece over it, ta-da! You have a double lined piece. And that way your snowman is perfect. And he's not a red snowman. And we're gonna do that same thing with the body. We're gonna put down the solid white muslin first. And that lines up just right here. There we go. There we go. And now we're gonna put the white dots on top. And can you see? I think I'm in the shot. I'm gonna pull my piece up just a little, or move my hoop, I'm sorry, so that you can see a little better. Then you just put this right on top again. There we go. And get that ironed in place. And now we're gonna put this back on. We're gonna keep that red thread. We're gonna use that for all of our outlines. And the machine is now gonna give us an outline for his face. It's gonna do part of his hat, the next piece, and it's going to do his scarf. So now we have the next set of our lines, and we're going to iron in place. So I need this cute little aqua piece. Aqua piece, that sounded real southern there. I am southern, y'all. I'm from the South, what can I say? So there we go. It's really funny, I went to graduate school in Chicago, and of course, living in the South my whole life, I didn't realize what an accent I had. And I don't think I have an accent, but when I moved there, it was so funny. Everyone was like, where are you from? But it was so much fun to live in Chicago. It's so cold there right now. I must say I'm glad I'm in Florida. I rode with the sunroof open to work today. So Florida in the fall and winter is quite lovely. All right, so we have our pink little cheeks in place. Now we're gonna put, look at that cute little nose. Our little snowman's coming to life. And you just put that right in place. So cute, isn't it? And then we're gonna put this long piece right here. How cute is this? We cut it at a 45-degree angle for you so that you get a really cute print with that gingham. And with a long piece like this, I like to make sure I have it lined up everywhere. And then I will just work my way from one side to the other. So there we go. Make sure he stays in place real nice. And again, this piece is gonna go off your edge, but that's fine because that's gonna be trimmed, right? And that's gonna be part of the binding and or part of the zigzag stitch, depending on how you do your finishing. So it's fine that your piece goes off a little. Okay, so now we're gonna put this back on, still with the red thread, and the machine is gonna give us our cute little stripe right here for the hat, and it's gonna put a little outline of where we're gonna put the little knot. Okay, so you can see you have these two outlines now. So we're gonna put those pieces in place. So we'll get our black piece. And again, with the long piece, make sure you have it lined up all the way before you start ironing. There we go, looking good. He's so snazzy, this snowman with his top hat. So cute. I was just hearing somebody was talking about somebody's top hat. And I can't remember who it was, and it was someone that I just don't picture wearing a top hat. This makes for a very not interesting story in the video because I can't remember who it was. It was like an auctioned item or something. I was like, who would buy that? You know, when you see those like fancy auctions, I always wonder, you know, who's buying the stuff. Okay, and the last piece right there. So now, still with the red thread, the machine is going to do an outline of where we're going to put our snowflake, and that's going to be our last piece that we iron on, and then we get to do all the fun color changes, and the machine is going to do all the fun stitching. So we'll be right back with that snowflake. Okay, so now we have just these straight lines, and we have our final little snowflake, and we are just going to put this in place. And what I do, I'm going to hold a couple little ends down, and I'm just going to lift and peek under and make sure that I have it lined up where I know it's going to be stitched just so. And once I've double checked it, give it a nice press. So now let's do our first color change. So the first color that we are putting on is our white, and the machine is going to do a nice buttonhole stitch on either side of the face of our little guy, and then right here along the edge of his body. Okay, so now the white is stitched and it's time to put on black, which is Sulky 1005. The machine is going to do his top hat, and then it's gonna give him a little face. So in just a second, he's really gonna come to life once he gets that face. So much fun. Okay, he came to life. He has his cute little face. His top hat is now stitched, the black part at least. Now we're going to add this beautiful aqua color, which is 1045, and the machine is going to do around this part of the top hat, and then it's gonna do his scarf. It's gonna look really cute, so we'll be right back. And now all of that aqua is stitched, and it is time to load the orange, which is 1168, and the machine is going to stitch your little snowman's nose for you. Now that your cute little nose is stitched down, it's time to load your pink, and that's 1307, and the machine is going to do both cheeks on your little snowman. So now it's time for the very last color change for your buttonhole or straight stitching, and that is to put on your 1177 green, and the machine is going to do a nice straight stitch in our little snowflake. And then we're gonna be back to start finishing it off. So now everything is stitched on your snowman, and it's time to start the finishing off process. So what we're gonna do is flip our hoop over, and we are going to, look how cute and clean it is on the back, I love it. We are going to gently pull our backing fabric right here over in place, and we are going to tape it in place. Just make sure you have it nice and flat. There we go. And what we're gonna wanna do now is change our thread color to red, because what the machine is going to stitch is this rectangle right here all the way around, and it is going to be putting our little guy in, or I'm sorry, the lining in place. Okay, so now our lining is in place. Awesome. So let's start finishing it off. We are going to unzip our zipper so that it's about, I don't know, you just want to make sure it's not going to hit your foot when it stitches right here. So leave like 1.5 inches or so. If you don't pull your little zipper pull in, you're gonna be really sad because it's gonna be up here and you're not gonna be able to open your bag. So that would be bad. What we also need to do, let me move my pressing area, we need to trim the back. So let's get that trimmed up. Right here, what we're gonna do is take a ruler and a rotary, and I have a nice rotary mat down in front of me. We're just gonna go about 1/4 inch away on all 4 sides. There we go. And don't tell anybody, but I just missed the trash can and dropped that on the floor. I'm gonna have a mess to clean up when I'm done filming. Alrighty, and we'll turn again. And there are 2 ways that you can finish it, one in the hoop and one with binding. So I'll explain to you how you finish it with binding, but what I'm gonna show you in the video is how to finish it in the hoop. Okay. So now, let me move my ruler aside. So if you want to finish this with binding, which is a really cute matching dots, then you will simply trim this the same way you trimmed the back, and you'll put them insides together, so the outsides will be facing out, and you will baste them together, and then you'll do binding just like you would any other project. And if I was doing that, instead of trimming a 1/4 inch on the outside, I would trim right up to my line so that it ends up being that perfect 8 inches squared. I'm gonna show you in the hoop though. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna look for any little threads I need to trim from where I held. I like to hold my thread when I start. So just make sure I have all my threads trimmed. Again, my zipper is pulled in. We are going to make sure to put it where my snowflake is facing the bottom. I'm gonna put it face down. And I'm just gonna make sure that I have it lined up on all 4 corners. Perfect. All right, and we're gonna tape it in place. Now I'm going to have the machine do red thread, because to me that is the best option. The zigzag stitch really will never be seen, but every now and then you can kind of see what's holding it together. So I like for it to match. So I'm just putting a few pieces of tape. We're gonna put this back on, and the machine is gonna do a lovely zigzag stitch inside here, and then we'll turn our bag right side out and see it all finished. Yay! You are totally done making this in the hoop. So now all you have to do is trim it and turn it right side out. So let's do that. Let me get my hoop out of the way. All right, so let's just give it a good trim. And I'm gonna go just a little bit outside of my zigzag, about 1/8 of an inch. You don't need much, but you just wanna make sure you don't cut on that zigzag stitching, or guess what, your bag will fall apart, and that will make you sad. But that's okay, you have the files forever, so you can always just do another one. All right, and we'll cut here. It is a little hard to cut over that zipper, so just press a little bit. It's not hard, you just have to press. All right, I'm gonna come a little closer. So I didn't get it quite as close as I wanted to. There we go. And same thing over here. Give it a good trim. There we go. And one more trim over here. This is just so cute. I love using these bags. I hope you love using them too. And I hope you have fun making it. This is one of my favorite things to do at my job, is to film these videos for you and to digitize the machine embroidery. I love it. So all I'm doing is I just use my scissors to sort of score that. Don't press too hard, don't cut your zipper. That came out nicely. And so what we're gonna do, I just usually push my zipper down a little bit more inside. There we go. And now we are going to birth our bag. So I'll do that, and we'll come back in just a second and I'll show you how it looks all finished. Ta-da! Your bag is all done. I'm so happy with it. Look at that. It looks great inside, outside. It's adorable. Your cute little snowflake on the back. This is such a good Christmas gift. And to get your corners poked out, just use, this is my little Turner pointer poker tool from Clover. I don't know what it's called, but I love it. I'll ask Mom what it's called. So let me show you a little, if you want a little zipper pull, like something cute to hang, let me show you how you quickly do that. This is the fabric you get in your kit for your binding. And if you want to make a zipper pull, you have enough to do that. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to line it up. Let me get this lined up nicely in the center. So I am just going to cut myself about, let's see, this is 4 inches or 5 inches wide. So I'm going to do like, I don't know, 1 1/4 inches or so. And just have this little strip. Let me show you what we do. It's so easy. Let me get my pressing sheet back over here. There we go. Did y'all hear jingle bells? We have jingle bells in the studio. And my hoop just hit it. That's funny. All right, so what I'm gonna do is just simply fold this in about to the middle. So let me just press that. And I'm gonna fold this piece in to the middle. Ooh, that's hot to touch. Alrighty, fold that in, and it doesn't have to be exact. You're just making a zipper pull. There we go. And now we're gonna fold it in half one more time. Ooh, I know it's gonna be hot to touch. So then just do one more fold right here, and you can see you'll just need to jump over to your sewing machine and do one straight stitch down the center of that. And then easy peasy, you can pull it through the zipper pull right here. Now it is kind of a small hole, so that's why I don't do very wide. So you'll just take this and put it through, tie it in a cute little knot, and then you can put a little fray check on the ends and cut it cute like. So if you want to do a zipper pull, you can, or maybe you can buy a cute little silver charm or something to hang from it. So I hope that this tutorial was helpful. Look for the other tutorials for the other versions. Every month you get the items needed to make one zipper bag and one mug rug, and you can put either design on the zipper bag and either design on your mug rug. They are just cute as can be. They're designed by my mom, Julie, here at Stitches of Love Quilting. And if you have any questions at all about this tutorial, don't hesitate to comment on the video or shoot us an email at orders@stitchesoflovequilting.com, and we're always happy to help. Happy stitching and happy holidays!